Hey there, this is Sarah Love. How are you? It's Tuesday. Last Tuesday in August. Here we go. I am going to just jump right into some things because I want to talk about capitalism. I want to talk about my journey. And there may be some contradictions here because that's sort of the world that we live in, right? So hopefully you can stick with me through this because I think that it's worth teasing out. There's so many things about this society and this culture, if you've been following me and we've been on this journey together for a while, that you know that I would like to change and would like to see different. And the capitalistic model and the way that we live and the way that this culture has made its way into all other parts of the world is something that keeps me up at night. And I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm also a person that runs a business for myself. And so within that, there's marketing, there's selling, there's making products, there's trying to make a living. And all of that kind of has challenged me over the years. It's really actually been a huge challenge and still is to this day. I've got stacks of boxes behind me because I believe that the model of capitalism is actually super damaging on a lot of levels. Anything that supports growth only is not natural. I'm a woman. I'm a person of nature. Like, nature is my church. This earth is my mother. And part of my activism around the last, 20 years of my life has been about the environment and has been about Mother Earth. So part of capitalism that really makes me crazy and sad and I see as the destruction of the earth. So I just want to remind you that it's Tough Love Tuesday, and I've been told by some very close friends and people that have been on my journey with me that I need to get tougher on Tough Love Tuesday. So shout out to Danny. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to really kind of let you into the inner workings, the wheels that turn in my mind that are, it's all about love. Okay. It's all about love. It's all the foundation of everything that I want to bring, when I die, the thing I want to be remembered for. It's all about love. And I have a passion and a drive and a potty mouth that you may think maybe doesn't line up with that, with love in the form of, hearts and rainbows and kumbaya. That's not the kind of love that I believe is going to be most effective to create the changes that I would like to see for future generations. So part of the love, the stand for love that I am is a little bit intense. So today's one of those days that we're talking about capitalism makes me intense. And so bear with me and give me, put your fist in the air if you feel me. Comment in the comments and let me know that, to bring it on, because I don't want to hold back and I don't want to sugarcoat things. The clock is ticking. This is what makes me so passionate, is that I feel like the clock is ticking for us to make the changes that we need to make right now, because the little people depend on us. Living in this summer, all summer, with smoke in the air and the heat hotter than I've ever had it in Oregon, as long as I've lived here for 25 years. Something primal is like, like something inside of me, that primal animal instinct is like, scared. And I know you feel it too, okay? So let's talk about capitalism, because we've got to start coming up with some creative ideas. What comes after capitalism, guys? What comes after this experiment? What comes after, hopefully soon, hopefully we don't have to destroy the whole earth to figure out that this is not sustainable. Capitalism and the model of growth, like just growth, all the time growth, is not natural. One of the only things in nature that grows and multiplies and takes over things is cancer cells. that is a problem, as we all know. We don't want those kinds of things, right? But capitalism tells us growth, 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 growth. Growth is the only thing that we're celebrated for. Growth is the thing that's going to make you money. Growth, the graph on the chart of business has to keep going up, up, up. And the, margin of profit margin and, all the things that make up like how much money can we make, how much can we squeeze out, it's all about growth. It's only about growth. So to back up a little bit, I just have to tell you that I don't follow that model in my business. And sometimes I wish I did. Sometimes I wish that I could just put money first and be able to, pay for my life a little bit better and donate more to charity and all these things if I had, this bigger stream of income coming in. But I'll tell you, that's just not how I run my business, because I want to come up with a new model. When I leave this earth, there's two things that I want to be remembered for. One is love, duh, and two is changing the industry. Like I would like somehow, I know this is like ego mind, you're getting a window into like my crazy, but I would love to somehow have an impact on the product making industry where we stop making the choices because it's only about the bottom line and the cheapest way that we can make it. Because sadly for my bottom line, but happy for my moral compass, is that I don't do that. I don't make the cheapest thing. If I made the cheapest, printed the cheapest calendar, I could. There's a lot of other options that I could do with paper choices, printing it overseas. I could do all that stuff. But from the day one of making a product, knowing that I was going to have a footprint anyway, which is like something I grapple with every time I make something, is like, oh my gosh, should I just only make digital things? Because, everything has a footprint. I mean, there's ink, there's paper, there's shipping, there's, trucks driving stuff and paper being manufactured. So what I do is research all the ways that I can make the cleanest product that I can, because you know what? I still love to hold products. I still love physical things that you can have in your home and you can touch and you can hold. And so how do we like still love the things that we love, but not destroy the earth doing this capitalistic frickin' dance off the cliff? And I don't know the answer. There's people way smarter than me. And I hope that it becomes, thanks, Jake. I hope that it becomes, cooler to do things that are cooler. Because the other thing that I've been doing is that like this year, every year I've been lowering the price of this because I want people to have access to this. I want it to be in everyone's home. I want your kids to read the daily message every day and have them have hope and have love in their lives. So 2 years ago, the cost of how many I printed and all of the things, I had to charge $12.95 for the calendar. Then the next year I got to print a bigger order. I got to have more bulk. So that brings down my cost. So then I made the calendar $11.95 because, hey, maybe, someone will be able to buy it. And this year I did a huge print run, bigger than ever, 10,000 calendars. So we got work to do to spread the love, right? And so I lowered the price again because I got a better deal printing more calendars. So now the calendars are $10.95. That's just that's fine. That's exciting for me to be able to tell you that I got a better deal and now you can have a better deal because we can spread more love. Instead, I could have kept it at $12.95. Nobody would have, that was the price. Nobody would have, blinked an eye. But I just want to do it this way. So I don't know. I just hope that we can start thinking of other things that have more value than dollars. There are so many things that have more value than dollars. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Relationships, trees, air, water, the next generation, 7 generations from now, that should have more value than dollars. What are dollars? It's like now we don't even have real dollars. We have numbers that change places on a screen. And the Dow Jones and the, different things. It's like, it's just numbers. What is this about? And we're destroying the whole earth for numbers and for some kind of we just consume. And I get it. It's a spiritual crisis. I believe it's a spiritual crisis because we've been told that in order to feel good, to feel beautiful, to find love, to have, this feeling that we need to buy stuff. Like that's actually market. That's how the media marketing, there's, millions, billions of dollars spent to market the message that you are not good enough unless you have this car. Or you are not good enough unless you have this gigantic hamburger. And that's effed up. That is seriously effed up. So part of also my guerrilla consumerism, being an entrepreneur is to program new thoughts in your head that say, you're great, you're amazing, you're incredible, you're one of a kind throughout all time. There's no comparison to you. So that you don't need to go buy plastic stuff at Walmart or Target. That's the other thing, is that these corporations aren't doing good things. They're not doing good things. There are people in factories in other countries right now making stuff for us so that when we don't feel good, we're going to go buy a new plastic whatever, and we're dumping water, toxins into every place on the earth so that we can have the next plastic thing. It's crazy and gross, and we need to stop. We need to pull away from this addiction to gobbling up the next piece of trash that then we throw away, because of course it doesn't fulfill on the promise to make us feel amazing or whole or find love. There's never fulfillment. I hope that this product fulfills. So this is the other freaking irony, is that then I have to sell things, right? So then I have to find clever ways to let people know that they really need this thing. And I keep my own wheels turning by people buying this thing. It's all very complicated. It's all very conflicting for me. And I wish I was better at it. I wish I didn't, sometimes do you ever wish, like, in the Matrix that you didn't take the red pill, or whatever, that you could just let's shop at Walmart, watch the Super Bowl, everything's great. Like, I sometimes wish I could just erase. I don't really, of course, but it does cross my mind, like how easy it would be to just think about my own universe and not care about anything. But that's not how I am. That's not how I was wired. And that's not my sole purpose being here on this earth. So I guess here I am to be crazy eye looking at you talking about capitalism. So what's next? What can we do to start to weave? Because the other thing about capitalism is it's totally woven in with all the bad things, in my opinion. Patriarchy, racism, enslaving people, destroying the earth. It's all weaved in to this capitalistic society. And we think it's so great. Like, oh, we have to teach the rest of the world how to have the best, capital thing, whatever. It's destroying the earth, which means destroying ourselves. And then, and then it's obvious, it's like this whole cycle where we're toxifying the earth, which is toxifying our bodies, which is like cancer is on the rise. It's like, it's all connected. We can see that, right? It's like, oh, donate to cancer research. I think that's amazing. And I definitely want there to be research done. And then in some ways I'm like, hey, it's kind of obvious. Like, look, like we're eating and drinking toxic things. Seems like cancer's like, kind of feeds on that. I'm no scientist. I am certainly not I'm not even a college graduate. So don't, you don't have to take my word for it. I'm just super passionate, and I've been feeling these feelings for so long, and I'm caught in my own funny world of selling things and making things and being really not okay with the capitalism and the patriarchy. That's just I've been from a very young age being a hippie in my teenage years, denouncing materialism to the nth degree. And now here I am trying to find balance. trying to find the balance to live in this beautiful world, to make beautiful things that I hope bring beauty into your world and to bring hope and bring inspiration. But I'm still operating within capitalism to then, market. And, then Facebook wants me to pay for advertising. And part of me is like, I don't really want to give Facebook my money, guys. So it's a dance. It's a dance. I think here's the hope. Here's the silver lining. Okay. I believe that we haven't even tapped into our human potential yet. I believe that, that whole statistic of that we use 5 to 10% of our brain. I believe that there's way more machinery up here and in our hearts that we haven't even tapped into yet that are going to come up with solutions and build bridges that we can't even imagine right now. But I want to start thinking about them now so that it's not totally up to the next generation where we leave them a completely destroyed, toxic earth. Can we try not to do that? And I'm totally guilty on so many levels. I drive a car that spews out, it's like we're all here. We're all connected in this. But how do we get beyond? How do we start thinking about what comes after capitalism and what comes after patriarchy so that we can heal the past and we can start weaving the future with solutions that makes sense? We got to build these bridges because I've really tried in my life to just burn it all down and deny material anything. And the truth is I live in this 3-dimensional world with you. Yay. And I'm here and I need clothes and I like to make things. And this has a footprint. And I do the research to try to find the best way to do it. But it still has, an impact. So I'm here. I'm like in the capital system with you. But we have to just start thinking about things and we have to vote. It's like we hold so much power. The thing about capitalism is that we hold so much power in our dollars. Like our dollars is basically our voice. It's like, oh, I say yes to this. Oh, I say yes to that. I support this kind of store. I support this kind of company. I support this kind of products. And unless we're informed about who's making those products, what they're made of, who's actually making, like the actual people in the factories making these things, because we have to know that it's all connected. And that's the first step, is just becoming aware and saying, nope, I'm not going to give my dollars to those things. Like, I'm not going to give my dollars to those things. And the more local that we can be, so if we got to be in this capitalistic system, the more dollars we can exchange in our neighborhoods and in our towns is so awesome. It's so cool to know the person that makes your coffee and know that the owner of the coffee shop. Because you know what? Starbucks doesn't give rats what. I don't think. And many other companies, and then the huge corporations, and Nestle certainly doesn't give a hoot about anything except bottom line. And they want to privatize water. Water should be a right to everyone to drink water. Oh boy, I could go on. But the first thing we got to do is just start to. No, and nobody's perfect. Don't beat yourself up. It's okay. Take a deep breath. Let it out. We're here. We're just here in this moment. We have the information that we had before, and we have information that we have today, and we can get new updated information tomorrow. So whatever you've done and I've done in the past, it's okay. We're going to do better in the future. We're going to make a commitment to shop locally, but start to really think about our dollars and how they are supporting a system that is really toxic on a lot of levels. And it's it's tied into all the things. It's tied into oppression of people. It's tied into slavery. It's tied into the destruction of the earth. It's tied into all these things. So we have to untie. We have to take our dollars and untie, and we have to take our minds and emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, as the one and only Bob Marley has, gifted us with these words, because that's what it is. The commercials, I grew up in the 70s and 80s glued to the television. I grew up eating all the things. I grew up on fast food. I grew up doing all that. So all of that has been years of me saying no. Nope, no, not going to give my money there. I can't, and I don't want to eat it. I don't want it inside of me. So we got to be gentle with ourselves, but we have to make moves. We have to make choices. The clock is ticking, and the future generations, it's going to be accelerated. It's going to be really intense, and I don't want to leave them a toxic world. I don't want to leave the little kids and the little people of this earth a world that like what we have right now. I want it to be better. I want it to be more loving. I want the environment, I want the air to be cleaner for them. I want the water to be cleaner for them. And I think we can do it. I don't think we've really tapped into the potential of our hearts and minds yet. So that gives me hope. And we just have to really pay attention to what we're consuming and how we're engaging. And self-love is actually a really big antidote to not being, engaged with the media and having the media tell you that you'll be prettier if you buy this thing, or you might find love if you have this new car. That's all lies, my friends. They're only trying to make money. That's what they're doing. So, I know, I have a song. It's called Waking Up is Hard to Do. They say that waking up is hard to do. And now I know that it's true. But we're in this together. So we're waking up. It's going to be great. We're going to change the things. We're going to change the things. And in all that, I want to say, if you haven't got your calendars yet, go get your calendar, because this will bring love and hope and inspiration. It's made in the USA. It is made of recycled paper. It's made of ink that is soy-based inks. I try in every which way I can to make this as earth-friendly. It's actually printed right here locally in Portland. I have a woman-owned business that helps me find the right paper every year and the printers. And so get your calendar and you'll feel better about yourself. I know, the irony, but really, it's true. And you can feel good about holding something in your hand that is made with intention and love by a local, maybe not local to you, but local in this country, person. And I'll put the dollars to good use. That is for sure. So just a lot to think about. I love you. Thank you for being with me today. Tough Love Tuesday. We got real. Let's start unpacking and untangling and unweaving ourselves from this capital place that we've designed to only consume and never give back. We can give back a lot. And reminder, you don't need that plastic thing that you want. Okay? So next time you're at Target, just don't buy that plastic thing. And if you do buy it, use it for a long time. Okay? All right. Awesome. Go team. I love you. You're amazing. Thank you for being here. We have so much work to do, but we haven't even tapped into the potential of our hearts and our minds. So I believe that we can do better for the future generations. Definitely think about what you're spending your money on. Do not support companies that enslave people and destroy the earth. It's not hard. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the commercials. Keep your dollars. Give them to people in your community. Give them to people that make things that you can exchange with them, and you can see them, and you can have an exchange of energy with them. Okay. I love you. Talk to you soon. Mwah. Go to istandforlove.com and learn more about the I Stand for Love world, and I'll see you soon. Bye.